Hey, Bridget Willard here with BridgetWillard.com. Are you wondering how I write? What is my SEO framework? What my SEO workflow is? I bet you would like that free thing about SEO framework. Not a framework, but a workflow. So, why is SEO important? SEO is important because you want people to know that you're in business. You want people to know that you're an authority in your field. You want people to know that you have expertise, and you want people to know that you are trustworthy. So no matter how you call it, whether it's EAT or TEA, either way, those three letters are really important when you talk about SEO. Acronyms all day long. And I was just chatting with my friend who said, I don't even know what SEO means. And I told her, it just means being found on the internet. So what does that entail? First of all, you need to understand what your business focus is. What are you trying to get people to do once they get to your website? That is a super important aspect, because here's the thing. If you don't understand that, here's Diesel. If you don't understand what it is that you want people to accomplish, then you won't look for the right questions or the right keywords and everything like that. And you want the right keywords, right? Keyword Diesel Cat says yes. Keywords matter, but what matters more? Long tail keywords. What's the best long tail keyword, Bridget? I will tell you. It is a question, because people are using Siri, Google, Alexa, voice search to get you to understand, what is the net worth of Diesel the cat? When is the next NBA game? Why is it important for me to have a plumber who replaces the wax seal every time the toilet is unmounted from its seat, right? These are all important questions. So I know you're waiting so patiently for the SEO workflow. The SEO workflow is simple. First of all, what questions do you get in your business all of the time? This is super important to think of. So, are people asking you what your hours are? Are people asking you what you do? Have you defined a layman's term versus industry term glossary? So, for example, are you calling it an assisted living facility, a type B assisted living facility? But maybe the vernacular or the colloquial term is care home or residential care home, right? Are you calling it a glulam beam? Yeah, that's what it's called. But people might call it a header or an exposed beam, right? They don't necessarily know what the glulam means. I mean, once you define it, it's fine. So you want to use the same phrasing as your customer. And why is this hard? This is hard because are you ready? We are not our customers. And as industry experts, whatever industry you're in, we are most often in our own way. That's the hard part. So you want to ask questions. Now, I bet you're wondering, 4 minutes in, you got to meet the cat. What is going on with your free SEO workflow for copywriting? Well, I'm going to give it to you. Are you ready? So you just have to understand why you're doing this first. So the first thing I do is I go into Google on my machine I am not doing a screen share because you guys can do that on your own and they're super boring. But I open my machine and I type in a question. Now, if you type in a question, Google's gonna auto-complete it. So, for example, you can ask, when do I replace the wax seal on my toilet? Now, Google may give you different variations of that because it's suggesting the rest of your question. That is a question that contains a long tail keyword. And since 99% of the internet is not on the first page of a search, you really want these long tail keywords. And don't forget that search is idiosyncratic, meaning everybody who searches gets results based upon the browser they're in, the query they're using. So they might be on Yahoo. People still search on Yahoo. I don't know, is AOL still around? I just saw some AOL email addresses the other day. People use Opera, they use Bing, they use GoDuckGo for search, they use something else, there was something else I saw. So there's a lot of different browsers, and most browsers have a their own search. But when I say browser, it makes me think of the IT crowd, Jen and the button for the internet. Microsoft Explorer. Those are the days, right? So the way that you get on the internet or the way you search for things is in a browser. If you're asking Alexa, Siri, Google, etc., then that is its own browser. Like, hey Alexa, what's the best place to buy a toilet? Or hey Alexa, should I use an elongated toilet or a round toilet? Like, there are definite answers. That's not going to help you in this case. You want to type it in yourself slowly so that Google will auto-suggest. You ready? That's the first step in your workflow. Well, the pre-step is make sure you know, or you've made a list in a like if you have a notebook, write down a list of everything that people ask you. And it like really annoys you, really annoys you that somebody doesn't know the answer to this question, why they keep asking to you over and over again, why, or how, and what is this, what is that, what does that mean, Make a list of those questions, put a timer on your phone and list them out, and then translate it into normal people jargon. If you're not sure, this is why this first step in my SEO copywriting workflow is the most important, okay? Step 1, review. Type in Google, accept their answer as long as it's reasonable. That is the title of your blog post. That's the title of your article, okay? Paste that into Word, or I use Google Docs. Then on that same page, once you get the results, you will see when you scroll down a section called People Also Ask. And there will be 3 to 4 questions there that you can actually expand if you click on a little thing right here, and it'll go bloop. And so first you'll see the 0 answer or the featured snippet. Then you might see some ads, and then you'll see People Also Ask. Again, you need to do this on your actual machine. It doesn't always appear this way on mobile. So after you've done that, look at those People Also Ask. If they're all super similar, then it might not work. But most of the time, I just copy those and paste them into my Google document. And then those, I pick 3 of them to be my H2s. H2 is like the way that HTML, when you're writing for the internet, and when you see something on the internet, it's written in hypertext markup language, HTML, hypertext markup language. And so you want it to be an outline, because using these headings in a consecutive order allows Google et al., any search engine to appropriately index and outline your thoughts, okay? So why this is important is that, well, first of all, it's good for accessibility, but it also gives the reader an opportunity to see those choices. And again, Google's giving you the cheat sheet. This is the cheat sheet for SEO. Cheat sheet. I can't say it. Shelley sells seashells by the seashore. It's a tongue twister. The cheat sheet for SEO, right? So people also ask, 1, auto-complete the question. 2, people also ask. Now you have your outline. The 4th H2 will be your call to action. Are you curious more about this topic? Now what you're gonna wanna do is in at least one of those H2s, and it probably should be that way, you want to make sure that your keyword is in there. You want your keyword not everywhere, like just putting Justin Bieber, the way we used to, or not we, but black hat SEOs. So you want your keyword in the meta description, you want your keyword in the title, you want your keyword in the first paragraph, you want your keyword in the last paragraph, and in at least one of those H2s, okay? So step 1, autocomplete. I'm not giving you a worksheet, so take notes or rewind. You gotta watch the video. Step 1 is autocomplete. Step 2, people also ask. Step 3, add your own H4 for the closing paragraph with the call to action. The call to action should be sign up today, learn more, get it now, and it links to your product, your contact page, something like that. What do you want people to do now that they've read this article? Answer that question there. So now you're almost finished writing the article, and that's all you've done. Step 3 is go back to those first page results if you are not there and find something of one of those first page quotes, links to quote in your article, as long as it's not a competitor, right? So this is why when I'm writing for Launch with Words, the content packs for Launch with Words are written this way. So they are written to be specifically generic. So the plumbing pack, for example, will refer to this old house or Kohler, a manufacturer, right? But it's not going to link to Bob's Plumbing in San Antonio because it's not, you do not want it to link to your competitor, right? So this is the framework. So find something that is appropriate for that within those first few articles that you can quote within your article. Now, at this step, you have a title, you have people also ask, you have a call to action, that's 3. You have quotes, that's 4. Now 5, fill in the rest. It's faster than writing a 5-paragraph essay. 5 free tips to SEO workflow for copywriting. For blog content, articles are so important. I am very behind on writing for my own website, but I will tell you another trick. You can edit content, and that is still change to your sitemap, and that's what Google wants. So if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you have issues, feel free to comment on YouTube where this video will live, or in the blog post, or I'll see you on Twitter. Bye.